Hey guys, it's Gary Vaynerchuk. A little bit of a summer atmosphere. Drinking Cab, which I know a lot of you aren't drinking this time of year, but really focusing on as we go into the fall and winter season. What we have in front of you is the 2013 Riglos Gran Reserva Cabernet Sauvignon. And this comes from a really intriguing vineyard in Mendoza, the Finca Las Divas vineyard. One of the coolest parts of all of Argentina. And in our continued kind of journey to find overvalued Cabernet at the right price point, you know, you've got to kind of look high and low. With Napa prices soaring, with Bordeaux completely in the stratosphere, the next eye goes to Argentina for sure. And when you look at the consulting winemaker of Paul Hobbs, I think many of you watching this video right now are very familiar with Paul Hobbs' career. One of the really great winemakers and wine consultants in the world, and really set up shop. It must be about 15 years now, maybe even 20, probably 15 years in Argentina, and has really developed the relationships with all the vineyards and just the region and the country as a whole. 96 points, Tim Atkin, huge score, obviously. Only 1,000 cases made of this wine. And so let's give it a sniffy sniff. 100% Cabernet, no blended out, 18 months in French oak. So just classic Bordeaux kind of infrastructure around this wine. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Mod, it's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah, little reunion tour here. Really nice vanilla, little bit of black currant coming through on the nose. Almost a little like grape candy as well. Just big structure. Let's give it a whirl. It's fun to not spit. Huge tannins. You know, thinking about the weather and the time of year right now, for any of you that are barbecue fans, this is a tremendous Cabernet. What I think is really most obvious to me when tasting this wine is the transition of the mid-palate to the finish. Extremely silky smooth. You know, 45, 55 mid-range kind of price point normally, reduced down to $29.99. Very difficult right now in today's California Cabernet climate to find Cabernet of this quality, this structure, in that price point. When you really start looking at the $40, $50, $60, $70, $80. As a matter of fact, what's really ironic, and I'm sure it's just innuendo in my own head, but when tasting this wine, it kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the 95 vintage Paul Hobbs wines, kind of that really hardcore black structured Cabernet. And when I mean black structure, let me explain. That to me goes with dark charcoal. That to me goes with blueberries, black currant, very dark fruit. You get some Cabernets, definitely a lot of Pinot Noirs that go strawberry, cherry, kind of red fruit. To me, this is dark plum skin, you know, really dark blueberries and blackberries. And really, the charcoal really drives it on that mid-palate. What's really ironic is as I continue to yap here, I continue to taste the wine, so it's got a very, very long finish. I'm going to give it one more shot before we move on here. Yeah, I mean, to me the comparisons here really are Caymus Cabernet, Silver Oak. It's that oaky, classic California style that so many of you adore, and very frankly, so many of you are overpaying for $60 to $80 in California. I hate to go there. I'm in love with California. There's a bunch of California cabs that Brandon and I are buying right now that we'll be featuring through September as we start really focusing on Cabernet. We've made a conscious push to taste a lot of Cabernet in the early part of 2016, to do a lot of different offers for you in the fall, you know, but not to undermine the other offers that are going to come through the rest of the fall and winter season. California's going to have a tough time. It's just economics. The infrastructure costs in Argentina are very attractive, and I think in a blind tasting, and I would challenge you that if you're a Cabernet fan, over the September and October months, to go out and buy a couple bottles of all of our offers. 5 or 6 of the wines that we decided to offer are the best of the bunch price-wise to the hundreds of Cabernets we decided to taste for the big offers in September, October, because we know the Cabernet that we can sell here at Wine Library. And I would challenge you for Thanksgiving or early November to do a tasting of 7 or 8 of these that are popping in my mind that I know you're about to see. And I have a funny feeling that a lot of you are going to lean towards the Riglos. And I think why that is because it just classic economics. I do not think that you can easily produce Cabernet unless it's the reason I'm stuttering a little bit is there's a couple cabs we bought that we stole. They should be 75. That's where you're going to pay $29.99. But on a consistent basis, you're going to have a very difficult time finding $30 cab that tastes like this in California. This to me comes across like a $60 to $80 cab. Again, classic cake bread silver oak, Caymus style with that creaminess, which is really oak on the finish. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a great